Hello, my dear viewers. Welcome to Mwalimu Kinywa channel. Today I'm going to be taking you through time, calculating time. And before we start, it is very important for us to understand that the earth rotates and revolves. And there's a difference between the two. Rotation is spinning of the earth on its own axis, while revolution is moving around the sun following a path called an orbit. And so, a complete rotation takes 12 hours during a day and 12 hours during the night, a total of 24 hours. That means that one complete rotation is 24 hours. And its effect is that it causes day and night. And another effect, which is our main point of discussion today, is the difference in time that is caused by the rotation of the earth. You find that some parts of the earth, using the prime meridian, which divides the earth into two equal halves, that is on the east and on the west. For example, using a map of Africa, very quickly, I can show you where the prime meridian passes through in Africa. The prime meridian is very important when it comes to matters of calculating time, because the prime meridian is the one that guides us whether we are moving towards the east or whether we are moving towards the west, where we gain or lose time. So in Africa, the prime meridian passes through Africa on a very small section. That is, the main place that it touches is the town called Accra in Ghana. Yeah, you remember in the political developments, you say that Ghana was the first black African country to acquire independence in 1957. So Accra here is where the prime meridian passes through. Then, therefore, it means that this side of Africa is on the east, while this side is on the west. Now, when we say that the rotation causes a difference in time, whereby some parts are ahead of time than the others, what are we saying? It means that the sun rises earlier on the eastern side than on the western side. And that makes the eastern side to be ahead of time than the western side. Therefore, my dear viewers, I want to take you to an example of a question so that you can be able to interpret a question correctly and get the right answer when it is brought to you in an exam. I have observed in my teaching experience a behavior of learners panicking when they come across a question pertaining time. But today, I will demonstrate to you how easy it is to tackle questions pertaining time. It is 9 a.m. in town Y, that degrees west. This is the town Y. Obviously, we have said that the prime meridian divides the earth into the east and the west. The prime meridian is also called the Greenwich meridian. This is because it passes through a small city in London known as the Greenwich City town, the Greenwich town. And that is why it gets the name Greenwich Meridian. Because all imaginary lines that runs from north to south, we refer to them as meridians. And the other name of meridian is longitude. And therefore, that is why we call it a prime meridian, because it is the main meridian and it is 0 degrees. Now, my dear viewers, when you are told it is 9 a.m. in town Y, 30 degrees west, which is the first thing that you are supposed to do in an exam? It is to represent the prime meridian and the east and the west. Okay? So, in my question, for example, town Y is on 30 degrees west. It therefore means town Y is here. Town Y is here on the western side of the prime meridian, 9 a.m. Okay? And the time in town Y, you are told what will be the time in town W. The time in town W, this is the town W, 15 degrees east. 15 degrees east. You can see they have represented the west and the east respectively. From our knowledge of longitude and rotation, we know that when we are going towards the east, we gain time, and when we are going towards the west, we lose time. It means we add to the east, we minus to the west. Now, I'm going to take you through the first step after you have represented, and that is to add or to find the degrees in total. That is 30 degrees west plus 15 degrees east to give you 45 degrees. And then from here, the second step, it is to convert the degrees into time or into hours. And we know that 1 degree, the earth takes, to rotate 1 degree, the earth takes 4 minutes. Therefore, 1 degree is equivalent to 4 minutes. What about our 45 degrees? Will be equivalent to how many minutes? We don't know. Therefore, we cross multiply. We multiply 45 times 4. We get it is equivalent to 180 minutes. From there, we convert our minutes to time to get that 60 minutes is equivalent to 1 hour. We all know that from our mathematics knowledge. What about 180 minutes will be equivalent to how many hours? It means you divide 180 by 60 to get 3 hours. After we have gotten our hours, we know that from town Y, which is 9 a.m., to town W, which is at longitude 15 degrees, the difference is 3 hours. And if we are going towards the east, we gain time. Therefore, I am going to add the time here with the time that we have calculated to find that it is going to be 12 noon at town W, 15 degrees west. Moving very quickly to the next example. It is 9 a.m. in Lagos and 12 noon in Nairobi. Calculate the difference between the two towns in degrees. Here, we were required in the first example to calculate time. In the second example, we are required to calculate the difference in longitude. Therefore, my dear viewers, what are we going to do? The first step will be to calculate the difference in time between Lagos and Nairobi, which we have been given in the example or in the question. It is 9 a.m. in Lagos and it is 12 noon in Nairobi. Okay, so we are moving 12 noon minus 9 a.m. We get the difference is 3 hours. We know that The Earth takes 1 hour for 15 degrees. To move to 15 degrees, the Earth takes 1 hour. Therefore, what will be 3 hours? How long? How many degrees will the Earth cover? It is going to be, we cross multiply. It means 15 degrees times 3 hours, which is equals 45 degrees. Therefore, the difference between the Lagos and Nairobi is going to be 45 degrees. As I come to the conclusion of my lesson, my dear viewers, it is important to understand a few things that I would wish to highlight. The first thing is that the prime meridian is used to calculate time. When we go to east, we gain time. When we move to west, we lose time. The Earth takes 4 minutes to rotate 1 degree. Therefore, 1 degree is equivalent to 4 minutes. In terms of hours, 1 hour is equivalent to 15 degrees. Are we together, my dear viewers? I know we are together. And by the way, if you have a question, just comment below the video. After the session, I'll come back to you and respond to your question. It is an open session. I'll also be doing live videos, so we are going to proceed on quite smoothly. Now, rotation and revolution, as we have defined them. Rotation as the spinning of the earth, revolution as the movement of the earth around the sun, have their effects. I want you to master 2 effects in each, which I find to be very, very important. It does not mean they are the only one and the others are not important, but I find them to be the main effects. Actually, they are the main effects. So, the first is about rotation. It causes day and night. And the second one, it causes difference in time. For revolution, it causes the 4 seasons. And the other effect is that it causes it causes the difference between the length of day and night. Those are the summer solstices and the winter solstices. And for the equinox, that is around the equator, we have equinox. Equal hours of the day, equal hours of the night. So my dear viewers, I hope that this channel, Mwalimu Kenya Jigona, is going to be of great benefit to you as you study at home and even in the future. Thank you. Stay tuned.